Hi, it's Marcin here, and today I want to talk about a very interesting game. A game that comes in a small box, has a very friendly price, but still delivers amazing production quality and gameplay that, despite simple rules, is surprisingly deep and emotionally engaging. Welcome in another episode of Dice on Board. Do you know Studio Ghibli? The legendary Japanese animation studio behind movies like Spirited Away, My Neighbor Totoro, Graves of Fireflies, or Howl's Moving Castle. These are not just animated films, they are pure art, beautiful, emotional, and timeless. If you don't know them yet, trust me, you have some wonderful discoveries ahead of you. So why Studio Ghibli? Because a game recently landed on my table that instantly reminded me of one of their most iconic movies, Princess Mononoke. There is a land torn apart by conflict. Two very different factions are fighting for control. On one side, we have a ferocious Woodwalkers, guardians of nature and forest magic. On the other, we have Ironclad, settlers from the Iron Mountains, driven by steel, machines, and progress. Nature versus industry. Magic versus metal. Just like in Princess Mononoke, but this time we are not just watching the conflict. As players, we jump right into it and decide who will rule the land of Ironwood. A game comes from Mindclash Games, a studio famous for big, complex games like Voidfall or Trickerion. Beautiful games, but definitely heavy ones. This time though, they went a different direction. Ironwood is smaller, lighter, and designed only as a fully asymmetric duel. But before we talk about the gameplay, let's just stop for a moment and talk about how this game looks, because it's gorgeous. From the moment you choose your faction, you can see how much care went into the components. The faction-specific inserts are excellent. The player boards looks great. And inside the box, you'll find metal units for Ironclad and wooden units for Woodwalkers. Simple idea, very immersive. The cards are cherry on top. Fantastic graphic design, beautiful colors, and great artwork. If I had to point out the weakest part of the presentation, it would be the board. Don't get me wrong, it looks fine, but at first it's not very intuitive. The division between mountains and forests take a bit of time to understand, especially when it comes to a movement. Compared to other Mindclash games, the board could use a bit more visual details and character. Still, everything else in the box is top tier. Ironwood is a game where each faction has its own victory conditions, and the asymmetry is obvious from the start. And chase totally different goals. The Ironclad wants to build 3 forges as fast as possible to secure control of the land. The Woodwalkers, on the other hand, must find and secure 3 magical totems, whose power can push the invaders away. The heart of the game is card play. On your turn, you play cards, but each card gives you more options that you can actually use. So every turn, 4 tough decisions. Use one strong action, and you give up another. Most cards are single use, which makes every choice feel important. And on top of that, every card can be used in combat. So you're constantly asking yourself, do I use this card now or save it for the fight later? Also, during your turn, you can play up to 3 cards, and the order in which you play them really matters. One small mistake can change everything. At its core, Ironwood feels like a fencing duel between 2 ideas. One side uses raw strength and open pressure. The other relies on tricks, disruption, and smart positioning. Fire and water. Very different, but both deadly if used well. There are also extra mechanics that makes each faction feels even more unique. The Ironclad use a massive mobile drilling machine to mine crystals from nearby areas. These crystals are needed to build powerful units, like huge golems. But the Woodwalkers can interfere. They can attack the drill or even strike directly at the Ironclad capital and steal resources from the vault. Combat itself requires planning and good timing. You need to understand both your strength and your opponent's weakness. And as you would expect from Mindclash Games, randomness is kept to a minimum. The asymmetry is not just thematic. It's deeply built into the mechanics and card design. Setup is quick, rules are clear. A full game can easily last 2 hours when both players know the game well and constantly block each other. Otherwise, it takes around an hour or so. This is a small game that offers a lot of depth. A perfect example that small doesn't mean shallow, especially when you consider the price. So, any downsides? Just one, and only if you play very often. Each faction has only 38 cards, so if you play many games in short time, the experience can feel a bit less fresh. This is a game best enjoyed in moderation, and then it really shines. For me, Ironwood gets a solid 8.5 out of 10. It's a perfect game to play between heavier titles. I love huge, epic games, but Ironwood is a good reminder that box size and component count don't define how good a game really is. Ironwood is one of the most pleasant surprises I've had recently. It looks like a fairy tale, but plays like a smart, demanding strategy game. The rules are simple, setup is fast, but the winning requires focus, planning, and good read on your opponent. Because at the end, everything depends on who sits across the table. Clever opponent can ruin even the best plan. If you're a less experienced player, or if you just want a break from huge, heavy games, Ironwood is absolutely worth checking out. Who knows, you might fall in love with it, just like I did. Oh yeah, if you like my work, hit the subscribe button, leave a like or drop a comment. It really helps the channel grow. See you next time.